Hey guys, it's me, and today I am finally being able to do this video. Let me give you guys a rundown on this. So originally I was just gonna do like a regular first impressions with this palette, but then I was just like, I really want to play with more than what I played with in the original video. So I decided to play with everything in this palette. I've played with every single shade in this palette, and instead of doing like a first impressions, it's kind of more so like a first impressions review type of deal, because it's still a first impressions because I have only tried but every single shade once. But today we are going to be talking about the new palettes from Lunar Beauty, and that is the Moonspell palette. So this guy dropped, I believe it was October 4th, I believe was when this guy dropped. I'm filming this on the 21st, by the way, and I got mine in the mail I think on the 10th or the 11th, one of those 2 days. And I started playing with it last week, and I was really digging what I was doing with it, but then the weather went to shit and I couldn't film, because as you guys know, I rely on natural lighting for my videos, which is part of the reason why I'm standing right now, because we're in that time of year now where the lighting in my room right now only looks good in this kind of setting where I'm standing up and everything, which my legs are angry at me right now for standing, because I went to a concert last night and I was standing for 7 hours straight. So my legs and feet are not happy with me right now. Also, speaking of which, if my voice winds up sounding a little bit weird in this video, it's because my voice is not necessarily lost, but it's trying to run away, as I was singing, shouting, chanting, screaming. If you follow me on my second channel, you know exactly what I mean by that kind of screaming. God just got his final will. Yeah. I'll talk about that concert in a later video because I'm going to be filming a Chit Chat Get Ready with me. So if you want to know my thoughts and opinions on this palette, then keep on watching. And also, if you're new here to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, and also while you're down there, hit that like button because it'll help me out a lot. All my links are down in the description box below, and yeah, let's get into this. Okay, Roxy is singing the song of her pupil right now, so if you hear her barking, try to ignore it. She's been going on for about 2 minutes now and hasn't stopped yet, so I don't know what's going on out there. Also, if you hear fan noises, that is because I have my ceiling fan on. So let's talk a little bit about the brand. So Lunar Beauty is a brand that is owned by Manny MUA here on YouTube. They are cruelty free. I believe they're also vegan. Don't hold me on that. I do know that they are at least cruelty free. And I think the brand launched, I think maybe 2 years ago. I don't know. I never really kept up with the brand because honestly, when the brand first launched, I was not that interested. Just keeping it real, I was not that interested when the brand first launched. But right around the time when the Strawberry Dreams collection came out, I was like, ooh, that looks nice, that looks pretty, I kind of want that. And originally that was going to be my first purchase from them, but then when this collection came out, I was like, I really want this palette. And I only went with the palette. I didn't get the full collection. The full collection was the palette and then 3 lip items, 2 liquid lips and a lip gloss. And the reason why I didn't go with the full collection is just simply because I'm not that interested in those items. I'm not a fan of the lip gloss. It's just not my thing. And then when it came to the 2 liquid lips, the colors are colors that I already have in my makeup collection. When it comes to me and makeup, I buy products that I need in order to fill holes in my collection. I'm not the kind of person that's going to go out and just like buy a bunch of shit and everything. I'm the type of person that tries to be reasonable with my makeup collection. So I just like to fill holes in places where they need to be filled, and that's it. Obviously, there are going to be times where I'm just going to buy something for the hell of it, but for the most part, I'm just going to get things to fill in holes in my collection. This palette and collection is limited edition. It is Lunar Beauty's holiday collection for 2019, which I think is very fun. The fact that they went in a more like spooky Halloween-y direction with their holiday collection this year, I thought that was pretty fun, because I know a lot of people try to get like very festive and campy. Well, I mean, this is pretty campy, but you know what I mean. It's like a little bit stereotypical and a bit cheesy and everything. I mean, this is also cheesy, but you know what I mean. When I heard the name was called Moonspell, I immediately thought of the band Moonspell, and Scorpion Flower and Night Eternal started playing in my head. Speaking of Scorpion Flower, I got to see him meet Annika van Heersbergen last night, so yeah, it was lovely being able to meet her. I'm not going to talk about the show, saving that for a different video. But here is where the actual palette is right here, as it slips out. And there you have it. So this is the actual palette right here. And as you can see, it's a book. I like the concept for this. I think that is really fun. Also, this palette's got some weight to it. It is a hefty palette. It also has a very strong magnetic closure on it, which is also really nice. My only gripe with the packaging, however, though, is that it is so busy. It is very busy. This is like OG Killstar design level busy. If you don't know Killstar, they are a fashion company, and their early designs looked like this. Very, very busy, very over the top, and just very obnoxious. But now their designs are much more simple and tamed, which I have some of their designs. I'm actually wearing one of their shirts today. I think it's fun and cute and everything, but it could have toned it down a little bit. But I also understand why they probably went all out and did all this extraness, and that is because I know that some people, when it comes to like palettes and things in general, they don't like negative space, and so there is no negative space in this whatsoever. So yeah, I think that for me personally, my personal taste, I would probably do away with some of these symbols, but that's just me personally. That's just my personal taste and everything. And the palette comes with 15 shades and a pretty nice mirror. And the cute thing about this palette is that the shade names are written at an angle, so that way you can either read the shade names with the palette laid out like this, like a typical palette, or you can set it up like this and still be able to read them as well and make it seem as if you're reading a book. And this is a pretty interesting color story as well. I believe Manny said in the launch video that whenever he thinks of like witches and everything, he thinks of green and purple, which I think is really fun and everything, and it's also very suiting and true. And I thought that there was going to be like more vibrant greens in this when it came to the green section, but they're more blue toned, which is totally fine. I mean, like when it comes to palettes and everything, you can't go too crazy and whatnot with colors sometimes. But these purples are really nice and pretty vibrant. Then you have, wow, that was a weird accent. And then you have these neutrals here in the center, and you get like a bunch of different kinds of finishes. Like you got your mattes, you got some like shimmers, you got some like glittery shades and everything. So you get like a nice range of colors. And the palette itself retails for $48 US, and the full collection, I believe, retailed, like the full bundle retailed for $80. And I believe the liquid lips are $18 each, and then the lip gloss is $17. So like if you decided to get like the full bundle, or they still have bundles available. I know the bundles when they first launched this sold out in 4 minutes, so I'm lucky that I was able to get this guy on the launch date, because there's no telling how quickly the individual palette sold out in. I kind of wish I would have tried to get one of the bundles though, because of shipping costs. So like I said, this palette retails for $48, but the shipping was pretty high. I don't know if it's like flat rate shipping or if it's because I'm in Atlanta and everything, and Lunar Beauty is based in California. I don't know if it's because of distance why the shipping was a bit high, but shipping was a bit high. Shipping was $7.50, which is a bit high. Well, higher than what I'm used to paying for shipping with stuff and everything. Normally it's about maybe $5 or less. So I was a bit shocked by that. And so I wound up paying $55.50 for this palette. And I kind of wish I would have gone with a full collection, because I would have gotten like 3 full-size lip items just for like less than $25 more. But at the same time, like I mentioned before, I try to be reasonable with my makeup collection, makeup purchases. So before I go in depth and start talking about the shades and all that, I do want to talk about something that has been heavy on my noggin. Yes, I've been watching a lot of Bailey Sarian, sue me. And that is something that I feel like a lot of us alternative people can relate to, and that is the fact that in recent years, like, the media has been really drawn towards alternative styles and aesthetics and everything, and glamorizing it and making it a trend and kind of sort of making it acceptable to be weird and spooky, and you get like these people that are just doing it for the aesthetic and everything, which is totally fine. If like spooky is your thing, then go for it. But it's coming off as like, ew, I'm spooky, I'm goth, look at me, I'm in all black, I am so goth. And it's just annoying as shit for us who have been alternative or even goth for many, many years, because people have died because of us being the way that we are, us living the lifestyles that we do. People have died because of it. People have been murdered because of the fact that they are alternative, goth, what have you. Because of like the media drawing attention towards us and like glamorizing us and making us a trend and everything. It's really frustrating and annoying, and I can't help but fear that like this launch is going to like help further that narrative. But also here I am buying it because I am in love with cheesy shit. I just wanted to put like that 2 cents out there because it is something that I do think about, and it is something that I do worry about because I have dealt with like shit from people because of the fact that I am alternative. Alright, PSA is done. Let's get back to talking about what you guys are here for, and that is the makeup. I am going to show you guys swatches of all the shades before I start talking about each individual shade and how they performed and everything when I played around with them. So yeah, and I'm going to swatch them from this way. Alright, first up we have is Prue, Piper, and Phoebe. Then we have Paige, Sabrina, and Winifred. Then we have Sarah, Mary, and Samantha. Then we have Kiki, Hermione, and Bonnie. And lastly, we have Marnie, Nancy, and Fiona. And here are all the swatches on my arm. You can see there's Prue at the bottom there. Hope you can see her pretty well. She's pretty light. I don't know how well you guys could tell when it came to the swatches, but some of the shades do swatch better than others. And I'll also mention that some of these shades are a lot softer than others. When I got this palette in the mail, 2 shades were scuffed, and those were, I believe Winifred was one that was scuffed. Prue looked as if it could have shattered. It didn't though, but it looks like it definitely can shatter because it's very soft, it feels very fragile. And then I believe Piper had a scuff as well. So keep that in mind that some of these shades are quite soft, so do be careful. Also be aware that if you do decide to get it, or any of Lunar Beauty's palettes, because from what I've seen in reviews, some of their formulas are quite soft and fragile, so keep that in mind when you order from them, just in case if you get something that's shattered. And also, if you couldn't tell by the shade names, all these shadows are named after witches within pop culture. Alright, so first up, let's talk about the purple look that I did. This was the first look that I did. So for this look, I used all the purple shades as well as Sarah, because I felt as if like I needed like a transition shade for that particular look, but working with all those purples, I wanted to try to like not necessarily tone it down, but just make it work a little bit easier with some of the shades, because I do know that purple can be quite a tricky color to work with when it comes to eyeshadows, and that became very apparent with the shade Sabrina. Now I didn't use that much Sabrina with that particular look because I honestly forgot about it, but I did put her on the bottom lash line to like smoke things out just a little bit, just to deepen things and whatnot, and I could really tell that like, oh, this definitely seems like one of those purples that can be quite patchy and tricky to work with. But purple shades like Sabrina, this guy right here, are very tricky to formulate. I have, I think like three other purples of like a similar tone to it, and they are all tricky to work with. So it's just the nature of purple. I don't know why purple is so hard to formulate. It just is. So yeah, and especially those tones of purple. But the rest of the purple shades performed very, very well. I was very shocked by that. And of all the purple shades, I'd have to say that Phoebe is my favorite. It's such a pretty shade. It's so beautiful because it has like that purple base to it, but then it has that like purpley blue reflect. It is just so pretty and I love it so, so much. Apply it wet and it is everything. It's such a stunning shade. And Peru is also really pretty as well. It's a very transformative shade. It's a lot more pink than I thought that it was going to be on the eye, but it's still very pretty. Then when it came to the neutrals look that I did, I just used Winifred, Mary, Samantha, and Kiki. Now this look, I'm a bit iffy about on how it turned out. But then again, I don't play with neutrals that often now. Like, I went through a phase where I was constantly playing with neutrals, but now I'm back in, like, the colorful, crazy shit again. I don't know why that happened. I guess I'm just, like, phases that I go through with makeup, I guess. I don't fucking know. So for this look, I actually filmed, like, a demo for the look I'm wearing today, and I used all the green shades. But yeah, so I took Nancy and I popped her into the crease. I also drug her out a little bit to try to like, not necessarily like wing it out, but kind of like give like that like pulled back kind of vibe and everything. And then I took Marnie and popped her into the outer portion of it, and then also took her into the crease just to help deepen things up just a smidgen. And then I took Fiona, popped her on the lid, and this is a stunning shade. If you are familiar with the shade, I think it's Loaded by Urban Decay. It's very similar to that, although it's more green, because Loaded by Urban Decay has a lot more of like a black to it. This one has more of that teal shimmer to it. And then I put Bonnie in the inner portion of the eye, and then use Hermione as an inner corner highlight. I've always have been wanting to do like something like this with having like very like neon shadows and like the inner portion of the eye, because I know that's like a big trend with like makeup right now, or at least it was at one point. I pick up on trends very late. They all performed pretty well, but Nancy was a bit tricky to work with. There was some skipping, took a little bit to get her to layer up a little bit, and also like there's like just ever so slight patchiness. On this eye you can really tell, but this is always my bad eye when it comes to like makeup and everything. But like with this eye, like I don't know why, I guess it's because I'm right-handed, it's easier for me to put a lot of finesse into my right eye, so yeah. Also, if you're curious as to what else I'm wearing on like my eyes, I just have the NYX Slide On Pencil and Pure White in the waterlines, and then the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara on the top lashes only. I didn't feel like doing much with my makeup today, as you can obviously tell. All I have on my face is moisturizer and a tiny bit of a illuminating face primer, and then a liquid lip from Anastasia, and filled in my brows. That's all I did. That's all I could bring myself to do today. I still wanted to play with makeup, but I didn't want to go balls deep into it. I will also say this, like these greens are oddly quite wearable. Because I mean, like obviously I went pretty dramatic with this look and everything, but it's still kind of wearable in my opinion. I don't know, it might just be me. Like you could probably use all these same shades, but pair them up and wear them differently and can make this look very, very wearable. Like, especially Bonnie, I'm surprised at how wearable Bonnie could be, because even though it's very neon and just like in your face, it's still very subtle and soft and easy to work with. Like you could easily use Bonnie as like a transition shade. Now let's talk about like the palette as a whole. There is some kickback. That is something that is a concern for you. Keep that in mind, there is some kickback. I know with Fiona there was a good bit of fallout, so make sure that if you're going to be using Fiona, tap your brush and everything, because I definitely dealt with some fallout when I was playing around with her. Also, the shimmer shades have glitter in them. It's a very, very fine glitter, and it's very pretty, but glitter is very annoying to me. I'll play with glitter every now and again, but I also hate playing with glitter because I just... like me doing those swatches on my arm is like now covered in like little micro glitters, and I have like little micro glitters like under my eyes and everything. But I will say this, kickback isn't that big of a deal for me, and same thing goes for fallout because I always do my eyes first before I would do my face makeup anyways. So fallout isn't a big deal for me. Now when it comes to the formula in general, I honestly don't really know what to say because it's just like eyeshadow. The formula didn't wow me and everything, but the colors are what drew me into it. But also when it comes to formulas, I also probably just haven't, I've played with some bad formulas, but then like I've played with like formulas like this, which I feel is like a standard when it comes to eyeshadow formulas. So would I recommend this palette? Yeah, I would. If you're into like this kind of color scheme, or if you're like a makeup collector and you want to have like a fun, spooky little palette, then go for it. Because like I said, this palette is only going to be running through the holiday season. I really enjoy it. I think that is really cute and fun, and I can definitely see myself using this in the future. And also just like once it's expired, putting it on display, because I mean, it's so cute. It's such cute packaging and it's fun, and yeah, I really like it. So yeah, that is it for this video. If you guys have this palette, let me know what you think about it in the comments below, because I'd like to know what people are thinking about this. I haven't watched any reviews on this palette. The only little bit that I know about it is like the first half of Manny's launch video for this collection. I didn't watch the demo portion of the video because I was just like, I don't want to see how this stuff performs. Like when I saw the announcement video, I was like, I want the palette. I don't want to like see how it works and performs. I want to witness that for myself. That is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and until I see you guys in my next one, whenever the hell that may be. Goodbye.